position. And once again, that's right, I'll explain this more when I get to the senior school. But I think, okay, what do we want them to do today? So we're going to focus on the spatial awareness and not all being in each other's space. So I go, all right, so I don't want them in each other's space. So for me, a drill that I want to build them up to is clearing out, right? You want to teach them how to clear out. But how do I teach them how to clear out? So then, spatial awareness, want to clear out. The chances are they don't even know it. Has anyone done like the foundation coaching course? You? No? So they do in foundation and then development and then intermediate, they call it the 7-step breakdown. So never think, like even for top tier players, I still break it down like as small as you can. So you kind of go, I want them to clear out. So what does that mean? That means they have to run away from the ball, looking towards the ball. So you're like, all right, to be able to do that, they need to be able to run away from the ball. And then looking towards, and then you don't really want them thinking about anything else at the moment. So that's probably going to be the first thing. But then, if they're like real babies, then they even know how to run backwards. You know, so you're going to ask them to clear out, do they know how to run backwards, / defensive shuffle. Sorry if that's going. / running back on an angle, which I generally don't even start that until probably high school because it kind of confuses them a bit, or that backwards side step. So I go, who knows how to run backwards? Okay, great, we're going to do that. So we're just going to run up, and they'll run up, and then they run back. Like, awesome, let's do that as a race. Who's the quickest up? Who's the quickest back? Okay, great. This time, if you are going to do the backwards, okay, we're going to run up to the cone, we're going to drop our right shoulder, and we're going to run back to the line as fast as you can, but you have to look towards the coach, and you can hold up the cones. Call out the cone as I'm holding it up. Blue, yellow, red, whatever. So they call it like pulling it out as they're running up and back. You can call left. So they're doing that. So you're like, great. I always use cones. It's just such a good visual. It's always so good for them to be able to see what they're doing. Whereas if you explain it and they get a bit confused, they might look sideways and see that others are running around the cones and it's a bit easier. All right. So then, from there, you kind of go, all right, great, they can run backwards now, so we know that they need to clear out if they need to. So now we'll get into a bit of a triangle, and it's like, all right, we're gonna run up, head up, we're then gonna turn our body facing the inside and side step around back, and just go the one way, right? We're going up, body faces the inside, and side step away, watching the ball. And then same thing, numbers, cones, whatever. Get them to do the other side. Once they can then do that, then you're like, all right, great, now I know you can clear out. So you can go each side. Now can I have a thrower? Whee! Very good. And one more runner for me. Yep, we're good one.
Yes, sorry, good to go. Yeah.
All right, so now we go. We're busy running.
Oh, sorry, I'll pick it up.
So now we go, all right, you're not allowed to stand still. If you stand still, you go to a push-up, and everyone do push-ups. You don't actually make them, but if you stand still, you go to a push-up. So I'm running, all right, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't get it, so I've got to get out, and I've got to keep running. Then you go, and now you can throw it to whoever you want, whenever you want, and if we don't get it, then we can still obviously swap so back, but then we still clear out even after we've caught it. Then you can swap sides. So this is just teaching them to do this, right? So it's just getting the concept that even if we don't catch it, we then have to clear out. All right? So that's the next progression. All right? The next progression after that is then we're leading out again, throw it to whoever. All right, stopping. Now, rather than throwing back, you're going to rotate around as if you're throwing down court, and then I then get the next pass down. All right, so you're teaching them it's okay to not get the first ball. You don't need to get every pass. You can actually get the second pass if you're not getting the first one. Does that make sense? Awesome. Yeah, so I love that. And then from there, once they've got the whole clearing out sorted, I then love this net fit drill. So then you've got passer in, or who isn't running? It can be a passer in the middle for me. So we need 4 of us now. 5 of us, sorry. So I need a passer and a thrower, a thrower and another runner. Yeah. Alright. So now, you're in the middle. Now you stand it. So you can either go, alright, awesome. You've really got the clearing, we've got an older age group, so I'm going to expand it to that, open up down the court. But if they're not up to that yet, then so if you can just put that cone in front of you, just enough for you to run around. Yeah. So you're at this one. So we're all constantly just moving. So ready. So when I say go, we're all just moving up and around, but we have to have our face, we're all facing the middle, and you can't turn your head away from the middle. So ready, go. So we're up and around. Good. Yeah. Awesome. And you can pass to whoever you want whenever. Great. So make sure we're always not stepping. So I want you guys to coach this, alright? Just watch what we're doing. Alright, what would you change thus far? Have watch again. We're just going to do a few more. Keep going. I just want to know what you would do to coach. I've already picked something.
Make sure they're running onto the ball.
Yeah.
Very good. Awesome. So what would you say to the thrower?
Down forward.
Perfect. Awesome. So you need to wait until we're moving forward before you release the ball. Alright? Okay, ready, go. Good. Nice.
Can you send that to us, please? That looks much better.
And you too.
Yeah. Done this once or twice.
Alright, cool. If they've got that, then you could add in, if you wanted to, do the back, you can do it as they're running backwards. However, it has to be a high ball if you're going to do that. Alright, so this is probably more for like the older girls, because the young ones might struggle, might not. Probably don't throw it to Dom because...
Can I ask, well, the other thing is being with little leagues, keeping their eyes up.
Yeah.
Running like this.
Totally.
So I would have thought like try and concentrate, eyes are up, facing the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definite addition to that. Yeah, well, because I just started and I'm just like, we'll just continue on. But yeah, 1000%. Yeah, eyes up, feet moving, the way that we're running, when you're releasing the ball, and then, yeah, so go again. So this time, you're only going to throw the ball when we're running backwards, all right? But then it's the high ball, okay? So ready to go. Nice. Good work. And stop. All right, cool. So, from what you may now sit down. Thank you very much. I will probably soon. From what I've just told you around drills and how you prepare for that, if we were then going to do that high ball drill, what would you then do before you went to that? If you were to start the session all over again.
Practice the high ball.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So just do what I was doing with the little ones before, line up, high ball, pull it in. So you're first teaching them how to jump, pull it in with 2 hands. Or is it, and then if they can't do that, is it step back, 1, 2, up, pull it in, right? Then it's running up, touch the ball, running back, step 1, 2, up, pull it in. So that's how much you can break it down if they're really struggling to figure out how to do the high ball. Then you can go, great. We're now going to go back into the clearing drill that we've done once before, but this time you can only do it on the backwards pass. So you can have the same drills, but then apply it to different things that you want to work on. So it can be spatial awareness, but then that's also really good for like learning how to pass at different times, keeping your eyes up, and all of that as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you that insight around when I'm thinking of how going to deliver a session and what I'm including, how I then do that. So these are more things, as you said, for like those primary school kids. So like that non-stepping, so same thing, just passing it all down the court. You literally just have to get it from one end to the other. I find keepings off a really good game. If they haven't played much netball before, play keepings off because they get that. Keepings off, no running. Alright, keepings off, no running, and then add a position in. This player can't run past that line. Alright, great. So you know that you've got to do that. Keepings off, we've got to get to the other end, but you're not allowed in the circle. And like things like that. So that's another really good way that you can teach them not stepping and not running into those areas.
What's keepings
Does
off?
that make sense?
What's keepings off?
Keepings off. So just like 5 on 5.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
just
thinking
5 on
the same
5.
thing.
Oh.
I've never heard of it.
Me too.
Oh, keepings off.
No.
Really?
Big
I've got-
English.
Like it's the same as netball,
Yeah.
that you just bring in certain rules at a time. So you could start with a brand new team that's never played netball before. Alright, 5 on 5. One team of 5 is going to start behind this transverse line. Alright, and you've got to get it to the other side, but you can run with the ball, you can do whatever you want. Alright, and then you slowly add in one rule at a time. So they can rip the ball out of their hands if they want. You know, you could make the first rule instead of not stepping, you're not allowed to rip the ball out of their hands, but you've got to try and get it back before it gets to the other end. Then you can add in, you can now shoot, or you can now not step. So depending on what you want to add in first, and how you want to teach them, and what you want to teach them, yeah, it's a really good way just to help build up that knowledge of skills without being overwhelming, because obviously netball is just like, there's just way too many rules involved to teach little ones. So just that one rule a day, kind of building up as quick as you can, obviously with like the basic rules of where you can run and the positions. Another really fun one, once I've done that, is kind of like, all right, who's got the wing attack bit? Like, who's wing attack? Oh, wing attack. All right, run where you're allowed to go. And then they all race down to their, up to here, so they're allowed in the circle, and then they turn and then they sprint up to that line. So that's another way of going, teaching them where to run. You could even colour it on the board for them, and then go, all right, well, show me where it is. Run, go. And they just love to run. And they're like, it's here, it's here. Whoa, whoa.
That is one that I have told our younger ones to do. I've told you
Yeah.
that
Oh,
before.
good one. Yeah.
Okay, this is centre. Everyone run in the centre. Like,
Yeah.
Just to get used to the positions.
Yeah. Perfect. So literally, that's as hardcore as I'll probably get with the primary kids. We just want to teach them the basics so we can pass them up to senior school, so they can come into year 7 knowing all the skills, and then from there we can start teaching them, you know, whether we're doing set plays or the centre pass and things like that. So any questions, any other questions for junior school? So short, keep it fun, have a focus. Short, keep it fun, have a focus. Make sure you note down what focus you're doing week on week, because chances are by the time you get to the next week, you forget. And that focus can also be from watching the game and going, okay, this is what we need to work on this week. And then building on that, but making it fun, mixing it up, and just remember to keep those drills moving, and that's when you'll keep them most entertained. Yeah? Brilliant. All right. So